and they get married sometimes. They graduate college and stuff, and I go to their graduations, and they come out after getting married, and I hug them, and congratulations, and yeah, I mean that's like real life. That's like great things, you know, and to just miss out on those type of social interactions and having a big group of people that care about you, I don't get it. I don't get it. Just it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, well, he's got his anger misplaced, is what's happened. He hasn't looked into anything, and his anger is totally misplaced, and he's pointing his finger at victims, okay? And he's hating on his own
Mhm.
gender because look at what our own gender does. We're smashing and throwing each other under the bus for our own selfish gain.
Yeah.
And when you look at what our
Hey guys.
gender's been doing with each other, that's what's going on.
Yeah. And I mean, like, do you think part of it is that he views other guys as like competitors for the women, and he doesn't want competition, sort of thing, where he feels like he's just better off alone.
I think that's some of it. He's afraid of the competition. He's afraid maybe that if he has other friends and he meets a woman, that the woman will run off with one of his other friends.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that because when I was in high school, I I had a lot of friends who were like really attractive, and what would happen is they would get all the girls, and even if I found some girls on my own, if I brought them around my friends, the girls would end up liking my friends because they were just just more attractive and more popular, that sort of thing. And so I found when I was young that sometimes it was good to just like go out to the bar alone and just ride solo, and that actually helped me a little bit. I found
Yeah.
that I did have more success going solo, but the idea of just writing off all guys and going through life with no male friends is, I mean, friends help you when you're when you have bad luck. It's like your friends can help you. They can introduce you to people.
Oh yeah, exactly,
Have
exactly.
have
So is David
have
here with
somebody to
us?
go.
Yeah, Bill, how you doing? Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Hey,
All right, good. We got that little technical glitch out of the way.
Yeah, well, that glitch was
Yeah,
actually I started it. I had my headset in, and I wasn't using
yeah.
my headset right now, and I had it in earlier when Heather was here. So I pulled the plug to the headset and it crashed the audio, and then I realized it crashed everything. So I had to start the live stream all over and Zoom all over to get the thing to correct.
Oh, okay.
So I had to restart all of my software all over, including the live stream. So now there will be a part two to this live stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, well, there's not much I can do about it. Now I got a part two I wasn't planning. But now we're all here, okay? And if I had realized I hadn't already opened the meeting, and I know now not to, if I got my headset plugged in and I'm in a live stream, put this damn thing on. Don't even bother unplugging it because it's going to mess things up. So, well, that's life. It caused a
But
bit
yeah,
of.
just another story, guys, about social circles. I have a friend that lived TSL for like 15 years, and my 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 girlfriend, she met a girl at Walmart that had just come over here from a Asian country, and I guess she was here for like a year or so, and then she like ran away from her husband, and the guy was a legitimately bad guy. It wasn't a where she just got bored and like ran away. And she ended up moving in with us for like a month. And my friend who was living in TFL for like 15 years, we were out at the bar one night, and I called him up, and I was like, "Get out here right now. There's a girl that wants to meet you." They ended up meeting, and then 2 years later, they got married. So it's like
Well,
a
you
social
know,
circle can really help.
a social
Social circle can
circle,
really help.
a social
Yeah.
circle, yes, can help if you get in the right
I mean, if this
situation.
gets
You know, I can understand the anger because there's so many men that'll behind your back try to take the woman out from underneath you. So
mhm.
I can understand that because I've actually seen that happen. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can understand that, but that's still not a justified reason to hate on all men because that's what I said about Hell by the Dashboard Light. You know, he's the first one I've seen that actually understands that you got to be friends with a woman in order to ever have a relationship to begin with, because that is the foundation. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not against him. I don't hate Hell by the Dashboard Light. Okay, I hate corruption, but the problem is Hell by the Dashboard Light hates me for what? He don't even know me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
that's the real
Bill,
question. For what?
why do you think he doesn't like you? Has he been talking about you or
Well,
anything like that?
he smashed me down on the live stream I was on with Steve Foka. Hell by the Dashboard Light
Hmm.
came into the chat and was chatting away. And Steve saw him, invited him in, and he told Steve no and wouldn't come in. And then I was watching the chat one night live stream and he was smashing me.
Well, okay. Yeah, something about Dashboard. He likes talking to Steve, but he doesn't want to talk to anyone else. And in fact, if he does come on and other people are on there, he'll ask Steve to eject them before he comes on.
Yeah, I saw that, Jeff.
So,
That was yeah, that was a pretty shitty thing. Guys, when I saw that, I kind of ditched out of there, and I didn't want to deal with that,
That's just wrong.
even
That's right
listen
up
to
the
that,
wrongs. You know, he shouldn't even be allowed on. Steve should have just said, well, no, my guests are in here. You're either part of the show or you're not part of the show, and left him alone. To bring
yeah, I
him
mean, I
in when
didn't.
he's to bring him
It
in when
wasn't
he's
like a
acting
big
that
deal.
way.
I mean, I stayed on, but it's like I can't really have a conversation with somebody that like won't speak to me or won't speak to Rafa. Before he would speak, he would just say, "Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear me?" Like he only wanted to speak directly to Steve. So he likes Steve. I'm thinking he really likes Steve.
Well, I think he does, but I've seen him bash Steve down before too.
Yeah.
You know,
And
he
it's not
get
easy to talk, Jeff, whenever you would try to participate, he would just kind of push you out. He would just say, Steve, 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 and
Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear me?
right.
Asshole.
It's not easy to talk when somebody's doing that.
that's not cool.
Yeah.
That is not cool. I mean, his behavior is what I'm against. Okay, I don't dislike him, but his behavior, he wouldn't even want that done onto himself.
Yeah.
Can you
And it's like
imagine
you
me
said,
being in? Could you imagine of when he went, Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear me? And then he started talking, and Steve started talking to him, and then right as Dashboard starts talking again, Jeff says, Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear me?
that's what I should have said. But I didn't want to cause any trouble on Steve's live stream, so I just didn't say anything.
Oh, I know, but
I stayed on for a while
the
and got out of there.
mentality is completely messed up. That shouldn't be taking place. Okay, you know, and I try to get people to understand the root cause because I want men to see through where the problem came from so they stop pointing fingers at each other. So that we could bring the manosphere together, okay? Which it belongs brought together. But people like Hell by the Dashboard Light, they're totally against that. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I want to keep my division so that the elite can stab me in the ass when I'm done.
Yeah, the world is just really messed up. I think I didn't used to believe in this new world order and social conditioning, but it's so clear that they're dividing everybody. They divide the blacks and the whites. They divide the men and the women. Divide the gays and the straights.
But you know
It's like
what's
they're
funny?
always coming up with new ways to divide
I
everybody.
know, but you know what's
To keep
funny
us
about
all
it,
fighting with each other.
Jeff, is so many
Don't forget,
people. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say, don't forget the rich and the poor.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, rich and the poor.
Yep.
So they say the poor, all the poor people, they're just driving around in BMWs and Cadillac Escalades, and don't give them anything because they're just going to drive around in their Cadillacs and
Well, you know the
oh
problem.
they.
The biggest problem I see that really infuriated me is the fact that so many people want to call NWO a conspiracy theorists. We're nuts. We're tinfoil wearing hats. And their main leaders
Yeah.
that they're sitting there preaching for has openly bragged it
Mhm.
right in their face for years.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at it objectively, it's clear that we're being divided. There's no doubt about that.
It's a lot
It's.
more than
I mean,
division. I mean, that's what people don't understand, regardless of what people think of Mark Passio, or regardless of what people think of David Icke, who is a shield, right? The man tells a lot of freaking truth.
yeah, about David Icke, Bill. I wonder, does he talk about the like alien stuff? Maybe
Years
just
ago he talked about
so the just so,
reptilians, okay? But if you paid attention to that video, the last video I posted, you got to
mhm.
really open your eyes and pay attention, okay? The
Oh
fact,
no, Bill. No, let me finish, Bill. What I'm asking is, he tells so much truth, like 90% truth, and the reptilians who knows. But what I'm asking is, do you think it's possible that he talks about a few wacky ideas like the reptilians and the aliens
yes, yes,
because
yes, yes,
if
okay.
if he didn't if he didn't do that, the elites would just shut his ass down immediately.
Well, I think personally with David Icke, I think he's part of the establishment. Personally, I think these guys are part of the establishment and they've been trained, okay?
I
But
I
the
feel Alex Jones is. I feel
Oh,
Alex Jones is
Alex
definitely part of it.
Jones his whole family was CIA. That guy's
Hmm.
100% part of the establishment. And but you gotta take into consideration this, okay? Whether there's a reptilian or whether there's an alien, I sit on a fence. I'm not gonna say there's no such thing because I cannot concretely prove there is no such thing. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
I'm not going to say one way or the other because I have no evidence to support either way. Okay?
yeah.
And I would need that
You can't prove
evidence.
something doesn't exist.
Exactly. And when I look at the reality, we have a big universe loaded with planets and we got our technology. I mean, there was something I did get out of this. Think about it. In the movie clips that I put at the end of that video that I did, the man
Hmm.
said before humans was on this earth, it was us, the reptilians. And that man
Hmm.
shares, and you pay attention to the wording. Now, that could be complete hocus pocus BS. But then on the other hand, before mankind was on earth, do we know that the earth wasn't still here? No, we don't because we wasn't here, right? Do we
Hmm.
know that that may not have been truth as well? Because, see, the elites always bragged that they would tell us the truth and tell us what they were going to do and that we would do nothing about it. And so
Hmm.
far, that has been proven to be true, is it not?
That is true. They do tell us what they're gonna do, and then they do it.
Okay, so
and
I don't
and
want
we
to
all
put
go
a
along with it.
judgment call. What I try to do is inspire people to think for themselves and to go look into things for themselves.
Hmm.
It's just like looking for the real root cause to why the manosphere is so messed up, and we have TFL, we have MRA, we have PUA, we have all these different entities. They're all the same thing in the manosphere, right? To go look for the
Yeah.
root cause to the problem, you start digging. This is what brought me online to begin with, was looking for why our behaviors between men and women and why what was going on was going on. And in doing so, I wasn't political at all. I knew nothing about politics. I knew nothing about nothing, man. Matter of fact, at one time before, long years ago, before I ever come online, before I even come up with TFL and I was living TFL, right? A friend of mine,
Hmm.
we had talked about we're getting rid of the wars. We should have a one world government. No lie, we really was on board with a one world government, right? And
Oh
then,
wow, okay.
okay, no lie, really did. And then when I started
Yeah.
researching what was going on in the dating scene and I ran into the political end of it and I started really digging, I realized what the one world government and I realized what their real plans was. And I was like, and I used to think we should have one world government. What was I out of my fucking mind? Look what these assholes were wanting to do with the
Yeah.
one world government, you know? And so people don't pay attention. Just like right now with the monetary system. If you go over to Sweden, there's certain parts of Sweden that has already
Mhm.
been moved over to cashless society. No lie. Fact.
Oh, yeah, that scares the shit out of me,
Now,
Bill, the
I'm
cashless
going to tell
society,
you
because
something,
it's going to remove all freedom.
but that is part of the NWO agenda. They don't do it.
I believe
They
it.
don't do it in large steps. They can't. They do it in baby steps. See, this stuff has gone on for hundreds of years, and they do it in baby steps. And the problem is even David Icke was correct when he talked about bloodlines.
Hmm.
Everything has been dedicated to bloodlines. Now let's think about something. If there was a reptilian race that was still here, do you suppose that couldn't be why it's bloodlines?
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely conceivable. I mean, it's not like that's not possible. You can't prove it one way or
No,
another.
I
And
cannot
the
concretely prove it. I'm not going to say there is or there ain't, but I'm going to tell you this: they do go by bloodlines.
oh yeah,
Your presidents are
when I
chose.
look at the presidents, the kings and the queens, I mean, those fuckers have been in power for thousands of years.
Yes, and when you
And the
think about
umbilical
that,
cord to umbilical cord.
you know, and then they pull this scam on people when they had Hillary and Trump running for office. Okay, they were cousins. Funniest thing of all is Hillary
Oh
and
wow.
Trump are cousins. You can
Oh,
actually
maybe
find the
that's why
evidence to
Bill was
back it
always
up.
cheating.
You fucking find that Trump was at fucking the Clintons' events, okay? That they're cousins, they're family. And there they are
Oh,
putting on this freaking act for the public. And the public's
Trump was
falling for the
a
stage show.
Trump. Trump loved Clinton in like the 80s and 90s. Trump was a big supporter.
Well, of course he was. His cousins with him, they're family.
Yeah, he used to really love them, and now they're putting on a show like they hate each other and lock her up.
That's part of the
Yeah,
fucking show. It's a Hollywood
yeah,
scripted act. Go ahead, Dave.
yeah, yeah. They have to do that, to get their to make everything believable that they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what was the name of that movie, Bill? What was it called? The Enemy Within.
Let's see. Bing, bing, bing,
The
bing, bing. I do believe. Let me look real quick. Because I downloaded it. No, Killers Within.
Killers Within. Yeah.
Killers Within.
Yeah.
It came out
Yeah.
in
When I was talking to you,
2018.
right? When I was talking to you earlier today on the phone, I was talking about a movie called V. Just the letter V. That it was a made-to-TV movie that came out back in 1983. And I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and that it kind of freaked me out, and I never forgot that. But it was very similar to that movie you showed, and kind of like these little, with these same kind of messages in it. That's a movie you might want
Yeah.
to, check out if you can, if you can get a hold of it. I don't even know if it's
I may
available
see
on
if I can.
DVD.
I may see if I can find it because that might be interesting to
Yeah,
watch. I just know this one came out in 2018, and I had watched it 4 or 5 days ago, and it stuck in my head. Okay, because of the scene with him in that damn by that fireplace, the things that he said is exactly what the NWO is all about, right? And
right.
then I run into this video and I'm watching it with David Icke and the stuff that was talked about, and then they went into the reptilians, and the stuff they talked
Mm,
about matched up so perfectly. I thought, oh my God. So I went back and rewatched it, is what I did, and I took a couple scenes and I put them in the back of that video. And I did that video because I wanted to get people's attention so that people would think for themselves. The idea was to try to get people to think for themselves because I've done a lot of political research that was not planned. Okay. I've done a lot of digging into NWO that wasn't planned. TFL itself, when it first took off, became huge. And when I started getting attacked, it wasn't until after YouTube was forcibly taken away from the people who had it by the court system. And they were forced to sell it.
Mm.
And Google took ownership of it. When that happened, it was within a month's time from the actual sale that I was attacked by Google, YouTube. Okay.
Mm,
And
right.
you was around back then, so you probably remember when I talked about David Rothschild.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is when my censorship really took off. I've been
Yeah, they
suppressed
probably
down
just
since,
realized how powerful YouTube was and
Well, you know what it
what it's
was
become. People being able to communicate,
well,
anybody
see,
be able to make a video. They had to control that shit.
well, Jeff, back in that day, you could only do a 10-minute video. Okay, you could go 2 seconds over, no more than that, on a 10-minute video, and it wouldn't go up. Okay, and back in that day when that took place and all this stuff happened, the problem was this: the globalists own all forms of media globally. No lie, that's fact. Doesn't matter if it's a major newspaper, a major magazine, radio station, or TV station. They own all forms of media. YouTube was looked at by the globalists as the unforeseen media because YouTube took off and went global and everybody was using it. So they wanted their hands on it.
Yeah.
This is why they got their hands on it to begin with. TFL was inedible that was going to come out because it was socially engineered by the elite. Deliberately divide and conquer, divide and conquer. It was a branch off the feminist movement, okay? It was part of the agenda to begin with. They didn't plan on somebody coming up like me and giving a name to the problem. And then when I started digging and started breaking things down and realizing where things were coming from, it caused me to dig more. The more I seen, the more I became aware, the more I dug. Okay, and because I spent years doing that, I have a very good understanding of what's going on. And Dave impressed me because Dave, who's in our chat right now, he's been around since I came on. He's been following me since the beginning, me and Steve. Dave is very awake to what's going on in this world.
Yeah, even before YouTube. Yeah, even before YouTube, back in 2003, I used to belong to a small chat forum called GhostNation.com. And we used to talk about basically it was a small group of TFL type guys who just fed up with the dating scene, and we used to talk about a lot of the stuff that you touch on, Bill.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's actually how I got. Yeah, no, in the no, this is early
90s.
This is back around. Yeah, no, this is actually about 2003 or 2002 when I first went on that forum. That's where I actually got wind of you and Steve, Bill. You know, it was through that forum.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of forums to come because TFL, when it first took off, I didn't even see this coming. I gave a name to the problem and I started researching why it's going on, why are men and women acting the way they are. I had no idea it was going to take me into the political arena. I was sound asleep to that. Okay, but
the thing is, Bill, having a name is really huge.
Well,
I mean,
it went
having
viral.
a name that you can call something.
It went viral,
like all these
and I
medical
didn't see that coming.
conditions.
Yeah, I did not see TFL taking off. I didn't know it was going to do what it did. I didn't know that time because I was at the beginning of my research, right? So I didn't know that it was a global problem. I didn't know it was part of NWO until probably 3 years after TFL because of my research, right? And the more I dug, the more I found. The more I dug, the more I found. One of them situations. But TFL literally went across the whole world. I
believe it.
Does Dave remember Sarah and Karina?
Yeah, who's that again, Bill?
Do you remember Sarah and Karina?
Sarah and Karina. No, I don't.
Okay, I used to call them Dippity Doo and Dippity A. They went over after Steve Hoka to try to befriend Steve Hoka, blah, blah, blah. And then
Uh-huh.
Dwayne was still around, and Dwayne, TFL when it started was just me with Dwayne Holloway in the background. He would not do a video or put his face on video whatsoever, okay? And then Steve Hoka came along and did a reply at my serial killer video that I'd posted up. My first video I ever made on YouTube was men and women's rights. I got slammed to hell by females and males both. Okay. And I was like, what the hell? Okay. And that was only like a 6-minute video. Okay. And I got slammed to hell. But, and needless to say, Dwayne and I was doing this stuff and talking to Dwayne on the side. Steve Hoka made a reply to my serial killer video. I made a video reply back at him, and he made a video reply back at me, and I made one back at him. Next thing I know, we got each other's emails. We were exchanging talk, and then we got our phone numbers, and Steve and I started talking, and Steve started making TFL videos himself. Steve is the one that called Dwayne out in a video and said, okay, and then nailed him with, show your damn face and blah, blah, blah. So then Dwayne Holloway came up and started making videos, and he come out from under the shadows, okay? Then TFL suddenly went global. I didn't see it coming. And my channel was hitting 10,000 views per day per video. At the end of a week, I'd had well over 200,000 views on a video. Okay, and all of my videos were that way. Until YouTube came along, Google.
So Bill, that was all before Google bought YouTube, and now
yes.
they completely control that shit because I mean they can just like nobody's gonna promote your video or Steve's videos. Steve's been on YouTube for 10 years making consistent quality videos that are very enjoyable to watch. Steve should have 1 million subscribers right now.
That's not gonna happen.
But his stuff is being censored. I mean, and then if you get 2 girls shitting in a cup, 2 girls, 1 cup, that's going to get 1 billion views.
Yes.
It's like, so they can promote whatever they want. So they're controlling this. Just because they don't cancel your channel, it doesn't mean that they're not, that you're not being shut down.
I've lost 3 or 4 channels. Okay. And during the time, I still kept coming back, as Dave can tell you. And even right now, my subscribers list is being pushed. I'm not allowed to get above, and they'll take away from me and take away from me, and then they'll allow me a few back, and they'll take away again, and allow a few back, and take away again. My name, I'll guarantee, and Steve Hoka's name's on the list.
Hey, Bill, I'm hearing feedback.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't do anything about that.
I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm hearing a recording of you, Bill, maybe 10 seconds ago or a minute ago. That's playing at the same time.
Well, it sounds like they're messing with our live feed again then.
Yeah.
That would be YouTube doing that. Yeah, that's called censorship. It's called they don't like what we're talking about. They don't want us telling on
them. So what's your subscription at right now, Bill? About still around 450, 500?
555, and the other day I was at 555, and I got 3 subscribers all day long. And at the end of the day, I went back to my channel, and it was still 555 after having 3 subscribers. And it was still at 555 before I got to 3 subscribers, by the way.
Yeah, they're definitely screwing with. They're definitely screwing with you. With you guys, you both, you and Steve.
It's because of the truth. I mean, come on. The reality is I did have the FBI at my door. That was never a lie. I did lose a job because of me doing videos. I did have the feds at my door for nothing, who drove an hour and a half one way to get to me. Had to go get the local cop shop to find my place because I lived outside of town. Okay? I did have a green light through my window. All of that stuff is real. And it was because of my political videos and because of TFL.
I believe you, Bill.
Yeah.
You know, and I only get fired up when I hear things, it just annoys me that people could still be so asleep to what's going on around them.
But see, Bill, they don't have to put it.
Uh-oh, you
they
there?
can just now they can just promote other videos, make your videos not show up in searches, and all this like little technical stuff, you know.
Oh, that's what they're doing. And they
I
watch what
know.
I do, and if I say too much they don't like, they freaking like that day they played Warren over the top, and everybody thought Warren was in that live stream, and Warren wasn't. They went onto my channel and went
Mhm.
back, and they went back a couple 3 weeks earlier when I'd done an interview with Warren, and they played that interview over the top of my live stream.
Mhm. Yeah.
And everybody
And this
thought
is
Warren was there when Warren wasn't, and then Warren went and listened
MGTOW
and
change
freaked out.
because hey, in a few months,
I didn't hear you because you broke up right there. Try it again.
either they will shut you down. Your videos will not get.
No, my videos ain't
Mhm.
going to go anywhere, and if I push them to go anywhere, they're just going to shut me down again. They already do it when I call out certain people, on YouTube. I've made some enemies out of YouTube over the years because I preach truth. They don't want people knowing the truth. They want you knowing the lie. And these minions that work for YouTube are nothing but order followers. Mark Passio is so correct. They're order followers for the tool, for money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it is vital that men come together. It really is. If you could get the manosphere together, and get it on a global scale, we could actually cause an effect that could change some of their plans. And they don't want that. They just don't want it. They don't want it, so they're on top of me, and they've been on top of me for a long time. But you don't see it stop me.
Yeah.
I still come up here. I still do what I do. And like I said, I do like the hell out of Steve Hoka. He is very honest, okay? He's done a lot of good work. The only differences I see between me and Steve is the fact that I dove into a lot of research and Steve didn't. Steve has slowly become more aware. But when I was listening to his part 2, because he didn't put the part 1 up yesterday, I didn't get more than 30 minutes into it, and I canceled it out because I myself couldn't handle listening to his guest because his guest was sound asleep. He actually thought the government wouldn't want men in the shape they are.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a feeling that this is exactly where they want us, and they actually want it to get worse.
Well, it's going to get worse. There ain't no getting better. Okay, it's going to
Actually,
take a
I think.
massive
Have you
rising to
seen
do
this
that.
this Stephen Curry's wife thing? I think they put these celebrities on that punk these athletes just to kind of set the example for the rest of us, sort of condition us. Like even this basketball
Well,
player
it's
with
all
millions of
conditioning.
dollars.
It's all conditioning, and it's perception by what you grew up being lied to. Okay, and people's ability. People have a problem with wanting to fit in with other people. Nobody wants to be alone. And the thing is people don't want to be alone. And when they are alone, they don't want to acknowledge it to other people because they're afraid of being embarrassed or called names or ostracized by the female gender. And so there's many reasons. This is one of the reasons it's so hard for people to come up and talk about TFL because why do you think you got so many MGTOWers that are actually TFL in denial? Because MGTOW's the biggest fraudulent thing there is. It wasn't an accident that the mainstream media got a hold of MGTOW. That was the elite's orders. Because MGTOW, if it was taken seriously, could have caused an awakening. And they didn't want that awakening. So they had to destroy MGTOW, and that's exactly what they done.
Right. Jeff, who was that couple you were just talking about? Was some that celebrity couple?
It was Stephen Curry. He's one of the best basketball players, and his wife.
Okay.
I think it's a Shia or Alicia Curry came out and said that she was wanting attention from other men. She feels bad because she's not getting sexual attention from other men, and her her husband's this big celebrity and she doesn't get any attention from other men. So she said that on one of those talk shows like The View. It wasn't The View, but it was some other one analogous to it. And so now I guess all the professional basketball players are gonna in future the rapper is probably gonna be going after his wife, and it's like she's not even attractive, and that's sort of the sad part. You got this multi-millionaire, like he's probably in the top 3 basketball players right now. Like he's probably the second or third best basketball player right now, and his wife is acting goofy and she's not attractive, and it's like we got these. Like a lot of people think that if they become a professional basketball player, life is going to be great, but from the looks of it, is marriage is not really an option, even if you are famous, because your wife is going to be running around trying to get fucked by other famous athletes and rappers once you wife her up.
Oh yeah, they have those professional athletes. They have such a large social circle of people. Around here in Massachusetts, I live in Massachusetts, and they love to push Tom Brady and his model wife there, Giselle, and they just push those two all over the media like it's they're the quintessential Ken and Barbie couple. It's like it's like that's just eugenics right there. They're pushing their eugenics, and they're always using those two as an example. That's disgusting. It really is.
But would you be surprised if 2 years from now, Tom Brady's wife divorces him, takes his money, and is fucking rappers or country music singers? I mean,
nothing would surprise me. I mean, she's got so much money as it is. I mean, she's made hundreds of millions of dollars just because of what she looks like, and Tom Brady's made millions and tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, just by throwing a football. And you got people like you and I who are out there scraping by and making just to make a middle class wage. And it's just a huge injustice going on.
Yeah. Also, so Tom Brady's wife, she's like an actual model. Like she like makes money on. She's famous on her own.
Yeah. She's a Brazilian.
Okay.
She's a Brazilian. She's from Brazil, and she's got that. I think she's actually the world's highest paid model. She's worth like, I don't know, $400 million, something really crazy like that. And and of course Tom Brady. Yeah, and of course Tom Brady, he's worth a ton of money too. And they just constantly pushing them both of them all over the media, showing us their mansions, all their material belongings.
That doesn't buy happiness. That doesn't buy.
I wish they would just show like a happy family. I wish they would just show a happy middle class family that has 3 kids, and the dad's a school teacher, and the mom takes care of the kids, and they show their garden, and they show their dogs, and they show their kids studying. And I wish they would just promote like a normal, because I mean that's what 99% of people can hope for.
Right. What they show is just something that's just unattainable to 99.9999% of the population out here.
Yeah, I mean every bitch can't fuck Tom Brady, fucking 7-time Super Bowl champion. I mean every woman can't have him. I mean I guess it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. It actually is. But I wanted to come up here today personally. When I came up today, was with intentions of showing true equality and agreeing with the feminist men and women who are wanting to abolish Father's Day. I agreed with them. I said, that was my idea. Let's agree with them. We should abolish Father's Day and Mother's Day both.
So, Bill, why are they trying to abolish Father's Day? What's the deal with that? Is that a real thing? They're trying to get rid of Father's Day?
Yes. If you pay
That's
attention,
insane.
if you pay attention, if you really pay attention to what's going on in society, you got to realize you're male, you're bashed, you're pushed down. It is the key. It is to emasculate the man down to the level of not being able to defend themselves, because it's always the men that rolls up.
Right.
So
And that
you,
and Father's Day is next month, Bill, and you just watch how they marginalize it.
oh,
You
they
know,
will.
compared compared to what they're doing. Today. Today's Mother's Day, and they push it and they promote it and go out to the store and spend money. But next month, it's still barely even be any mention of it of
That's every
Father's Day.
year. I have watched that every year. Mother's Day comes
Yeah.
up and you got all this promotion, commercials, and all this stuff going on promoting Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. Father's Day comes up and you barely see anything. Men
Yeah.
aren't even noticed. And then you get feminist men and women both who are pushing to abolish Father's Day, more male bashing, just like you find on TV. And when people want to say, well, no, it's not on TV every day, I challenge you to go to the Oprah Winfrey channel or to go ahead and watch Lifetime movies. You'll find so much male bashing, you'll get sick to your stomach. Okay? And it's one of these things that I'm like, you want to continue the male bashing and you want to abolish Father's Day? You better remember she could have never even been a mother to have a Mother's Day without the father. Because she couldn't have gotten pregnant. That's why I said in the first part of this live stream, I'm sorry, it wasn't some herbal tea or, organic tea that got her pregnant. It wasn't her last meal. It wasn't in the water. It wasn't in her coffee. She got pregnant because there was another guy, the father of the child. So if you want to abolish the Father's Day, then you need to abolish the Mother's Day because in reality, there would be no Mother's Day without the father. So to
Yeah.
abolish one, you abolish the other. You feminist you feminist screwballs want equality? Well, there's true equality. You abolish both then.
Right. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah. Now, and I'm not saying that in a way of don't love your mother. Yes, love your mother, but
Right.
also love your father. Because
Right.
see,
Yeah. I thought.
that's really where it comes from. It's not about what they're pushing. What they're
Yeah.
pushing is to keep the division alive and well because divide and conquer is something they had to have. And they do it in all aspects of life, from races to genders to the job site to everywhere you look. And that division is deliberately created. Even money has been used for division.
Right.
And I get frustrated when I watch guys promoting, well, she's a 10. Oh, but she's an 8. Oh, but she's a 6. And while he's only a 5 or a 6. And you're putting categories on each other. Do you realize that only feeds into the division?
Right.
It definitely does.
And division is what they want because without division, if people would see what was really going on, they would get angry. Just like earlier in this live stream when I brought up the cashless society that's going on over in Sweden, that infuriated Jeff. Okay? Well, Jeff has a right to be scared and mad about that. But the reality is but that's over in Sweden. Don't worry, give it another decade and it'll be over in the United Kingdom and over in Germany. Give it another decade
Right.
after that and it'll be global.
Right. Now, if you look in the
Yeah.
workplace, I mean, me and you were talking about this earlier today, Bill, about how everywhere, with pretty much every employer in the country, we're all like moving into direct deposit, and there's
Yes.
like no more actual physical checks that are being issued. Everybody, all these employees are just directly depositing the money into the employees' checking accounts.
That's right. It's direct deposit and you're finding
Mhm.
less and less applications at the fucking company. It's moving more to you apply online or you go to a temp agency. The
Yeah.
companies are all moving to temps or online. Okay, so you're going to have a situation. That's why I told Dave earlier today. It says this BS about MP strikes taking down our power grids is just scare tactics because the reality is this: they're moving to a cashless society. Okay, they're not going to take out your power grid. They need your power for your electronics. They are using electronic transfers. Okay, the power grid's not going down because that would also mess them up. That's fear porn. It's like if you pay attention, every
Yeah.
election for a president, there's three things that always happen. Within a year, year and a half to a year of the election time, you'll start seeing FEMA camp videos, coffin videos of
Mm-hmm.
masses, and
Yep.
Planet X. And as of
That's Alex Jones'
yesterday,
purpose.
a gal came up online doing a live stream on Planet X. Here we go again. That's all fear porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Jones used to talk about those FEMA camps every day. Day in and day out, he pushed those FEMA camps.
That's to scare the hell out of people to control you. The best way to control people is through fear.
Right.
Yeah, and the result of watching Alex Jones is anxiety. I feel because when I used to watch Alex Jones a long time ago, I felt more anxious, and I think that might be part of the purpose
It leads to
of somebody
worry.
like Alex Jones
Yes,
is
well,
to
it
cause
is.
anxiety and fear.
It is to scare you. It is to cause anxiety. It's to cause depression, and to cause you to weaken down and back down from standing up for what's right. And people don't realize that, and they fall down these rabbit holes and they become scared. And I can understand being scared to a point but you got to also understand this. Any war that's been fought, the majority of all of them have been financed by the elite, right? Okay, both
Of course,
sides.
yeah.
Okay? But any war that's ever been fought, there's always casualties, okay? You're not going to stop what's going on without a massive rising. These people get their power from us. They only get their power from us listening. They get their militaries from us. Okay?
Mhm.
It's a simple thing to beat, but a hard thing to beat. You want to know how simple it is? It's not about picking up a gun. It's about people realizing what's really going on and standing down. And that means the majority of all of your military and all of your citizens stop going to work. Everybody just stops immediately, and everybody says no at the same time. Well, they'll court martial you if you don't listen to the military. But if 90% of their military stood down at the same time, no, they wouldn't, because they'd have no military.
Yeah, that's why it's a requirement to be in the military. You have to be really, really young and inexperienced. That's the people they want. They don't want people that think for themselves in the military.
Now, even law enforcement. If you go into law enforcement, you go to police academy and go to try to apply for a job as a cop or a deputy sheriff, you're going to be questioned,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to go through a questionnaire, and if you have critical thinking skills and you recognize your constitution and you recognize right from wrong, you will not be hired.
I believe it.
You have
Peace
to
police.
be the perfect patsy, the perfect dumbass that'll just follow your orders. When Mark Passio
Yeah, these.
says order followers, it's no lie, it's fact.
Bill, college also is like kind of the same thing. I mean, how do you go to a really good college? Well, you go to a really good college by being super, super conforming as a young person.
You are, well,
They sort
here's a
they
good
sort
one
these
for
kids
you.
out by their conformity.
Yes, but
Because
here,
anybody can get straight A's. Anybody can get straight A's if they just do the work.
well,
And they're sorting them by their level of conformity, and the people that make it to the really top in a college are the most conforming people.
it is by conformity, so you're correct
Yeah.
on that. And here's another branch for you. The elite, the people at the top, their children, the people in top positions, the bankers all over the world, okay? Who are technically your really elite. The elite is the bankers, okay? And people don't realize that. Most of your elite are bankers, okay? Their children do not go to any kind of public school. They don't go to Catholic school. They don't go to Christian school. They go to a special school that's only for the elite.
Wow. Scary.
And they get looked down at by their parents if they try to socialize with normal cattle, which is you and me, children.
Yeah.
Wow, you, Bill and Dave and Jeff Ashton are cattle. Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah,
Look where Donald Trump went. I mean, Donald Trump went to boarding school his entire education.
Yes.
They all seem to go to Harvard, Princeton, or Yale as for universities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way you get in there is by knowing somebody really, really rich.
Yeah.
Somebody really, really connected.
Yeah, this world, it really operates on nepotism, and just not just in that, but even like pretty much every job you work at, people that get ahead is because it's mainly because of nepotism.
Yeah, Dave, I've experienced that in the education field. It's
Mhm.
like if you're a male and you're a teacher, you know how they always talk about, oh, they need male teachers. They need male teachers. They always say that. But
Yeah.
then whenever you are a male teacher, like I am, you get in there and you're surrounded by the most hardcore feminists you've ever seen. And
I
no
can
matter what
imagine.
you do, it's not right. And they only promote females. So all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
administrators are females, and they
Right.
just fuck with you nonstop. And then the women, they just leave them alone, and they just fuck with the white males. And it's,
The
I don't
females are
know
about the
if that's
female
nepotism.
feminist.
I guess that's not. I mean,
Yeah.
nepotism is like your family.
Well, Jeff,
Right.
Gives you.
I got news for you, and I know this to be true. Give it a few years, and
Mhm.
you're going to watch a complete change. You know why? Because the feminist movement, that was an agenda by the people at the top. Okay? Their next agenda is being forced put in your face right now, and that agenda comes over the feminist movement. And that is the gay and lesbian and transsexuals.
Oh, I got a story for you, Bill. At my last high school, there was a gay kid, and his parents were Christians, so his parents kicked him out of the house for being gay,
Yep.
and one of his teachers, he was 17, and his parents kicked him out of the house for being gay, and one of his teachers made a GoFundMe page for him, and now 3 years later, he has $500,000 in his bank account. He got a full ride to Georgetown University, and he got an internship with a senator.
Yes, of course.
And he got all of this for no other reason than being gay and getting kicked out of his house.
That's because
He wasn't particularly smart. He wasn't particularly smart.
You don't have to be.
And
That's the agenda. That is the new agenda that they're working on. The elite are behind this. Okay,
and
the elite are behind
I actually knew this kid. Like I actually knew this kid, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Nobody gave me a full ride to a damn near Ivy League university. Nobody gave me $500,000.
He fell right into their agenda, dude. That's an
He
NWO.
did.
Yes, that's an NWO agenda. That is the new agenda that trumps the feminist movement.
Because Bill, I was just looking at some dumbass that wasn't particularly good at math.
Yo, you watch what happens to these women. Let me tell you something. Feminist women who are having sports, like, okay, when they start having transgenders, men as women, coming into their sport, they're going to throw a hissy. And guess who the loser will be? The feminist women.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And the reason the feminist women, and it's because that is the new agenda.
Oh, wow. So you think there's going to be a war between the feminists and the transgender?
That's coming. Yes, that's coming.
Oh, wow.
Watch and
yes,
see.
Dave, I'm sorry.
It's coming. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say I see a lot of that. What you were talking about, Jeff. Where I work for a pretty large company. We employ about 7,000 people, and there's a lot of that same sort of thing. If you're a homosexual, you get a free pass. You get preferential treatment. you'll get promoted easier. And I've definitely seen a lot of that where I work. I know
I believe it.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and it must be tough working in the school system. I mean, I'm looking at my form of the school system I went through as a kid, and my old high school. I think it's all female teachers, with the exception of the gym teacher. Every teacher in there is a female.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm the math teacher. That's what I do. I'm like the math teacher, so I'm kind of maybe there's not. I mean, in some sense, there's not enough women to like teach math, so I'm somewhat invincible. But on the other hand, the schools don't really give a shit. They'll just take an English teacher and just put her in the math class.
Yeah.
Like it was really it was really fucked up because I have an actual degree in mathematics, and when I started at this one school, there was a English major girl that started at the same day as me. Well, they gave her the like AP calculus class, which is like the like gifted kids, like the really smart kids, and they put me teaching remedial math. So it's like I've got a fucking degree in math. I should be teaching the smart kids, but they made the English major girl the teacher for the fucking gifted AP calculus class, which is what I wanted to teach. I didn't want to deal with remedial kids because they're bringing guns to school and shit like that. So it's like they don't even care about your qualifications at all. If you're a blonde female like this girl was, if you got an English degree, oh well, we'll just give her the best thing. Screw it. And that's what the feminists at the school did, and they just threw me to the wolves. I had like 50 kids per class. This bitch was teaching like a class of 10 fucking gifted calculus kids. And it's like,
What grade do you teach, Jeff?
High school. I teach high school, 6 through 12.
Okay. Yeah, my sister's a school teacher herself.
Okay. I prefer to teach like the older the better, for as far as like what I choose to teach. I like the older ones better.
Right. I could imagine middle school would probably be the toughest.
Yeah, middle school, you're just dealing with a lot of kids. Just change so much in middle school.
Kind of funky.
Well, they get older.
It's a really funky time. Yeah.
They get older and they start with a brain of their own. Okay, and then they become 14, going on 40.
Yeah.
And that's typically normal, okay? So I could understand why you're dealing with what you're dealing with, but the reality is you're a teacher in a school system and you're controlled by what you're allowed to teach them. And if you started teaching them some of the stuff that you're learning here online, you wouldn't have a job.
That is correct. So I pretty much keep my mouth shut, Bill, and I just talk about math. And that's a good thing about teaching math is you can just talk about math and just let that be it.
Yes.
Right.
I've got to be really careful because you say you're always one word away from being fired or accused. So I don't know how long I can do this, but I definitely, and that's why I don't show my face is because if any of these feminists at my school saw my videos online, they'd get me the fuck out of there the next day. I'd be on administrative leave the next day,
Right. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
I mean, it's not like being like like Steve is AC technician. He fixes air conditioners and heaters. Well, they're probably not going to fire him for that. But if you're in a school system with a bunch of feminists and this big bureaucracy, and somebody sees your videos, you're done. You're done.
Well, you got to watch it. I mean, I wasn't no school teacher. I wasn't doing what Steve does. But I did remodels for years. And when I left the remodels, I went into doing maintenance in motels. And my last job was at a Holiday Inn Express. I was the chief engineer. Okay. In other words, the head of the maintenance department. Okay, for keeping the building up, fixing whatever breaks. And
Hmm.
I lost my job because of my videos. But then there was a little bit of help from people above, the elite. Google. Guaranteed there was.
Hmm.
Okay? That cost me my job because it coincided with each other. I lost my job. They wouldn't give me an explanation. The owner of the motel, one of the owners, 3 owners showed up at the motel and told me straight up that we're separating partnership with you. And we've had a complaint. And I said, so what would the complaint be? And he says, I can't tell you.
Yep,
Okay.
that's actually how
And
it
then,
usually works.
and
They don't
then,
tell you what you're accused of.
no.
They just get rid of you.
And then when I was leaving with my tools, he hands me a piece of paper and says, here's our management company's phone number. When you get home, call them and they'll tell you why we're letting you go, right? I called them and the gal says, oh, Bill. She bragged me up, says, damn, you were a great worker. You're always there. You're very dependable. You've got lots of skills. We loved your employment. But however, you make videos online. And
Uh-huh.
she gave me a lie that she had complaints from housekeepers, right? That
Hmm.
found my videos and that's why they got rid of me, right? So 2
Hmm.
weeks later, I'm at a store and I run into the head housekeeper that was underneath the assistant manager. She's the one that ran housekeeping. She was off the day they let me go, and she says, Bill, and I says, yeah. She says, what the hell happened to your job? And I told her what was said, and she says, bullshit. That's a straight up freaking lie. Everybody in that place liked you. She says there was never no complaints from any housekeepers about you. She says that's a
Oh
straight
my
up
God.
lie, right? And then a couple of weeks later, I got a green light coming through my window. My Skype signal, I was in a conference with 5 other people, dropped, and it reminded me of a TV set where you pulled the antenna off the back of the TV and you got that snow went, psh, you know? That's
Oh
how
my
my
God.
Skype signal, it just dropped and was, psh, and then I freaking got the
Oh my
call,
God.
hooked back up, and everybody was, what the hell was that? And they heard the same thing I heard. About that time, I had a green light come through my blinds, and I lived outside of town across from a college. It was the middle of the summer. College wasn't in, and 3 sides of the building was cornfields. And I got this green light bouncing off my walls, and I nudged my son, Jason. He was like 16, 15 or 16. And he looked over and seen that green light bounce off the walls and goes, what the hell is that? And I says, tell me and we'll both know. And then a day after that, the feds drove an hour and a half to the town I was in and went to the local cop shop to find my address and showed up at my door. And I knew none of these police, never met them in my life. And this cop walks through my door and says, oh, Bill. He says, he's a great guy. And he says, oh, these 2 guys would like to talk to you. And then he left. And these 2 guys we talk here? And Jason was sitting there, my son. And I says, no, we'll step
Mhm.
outside. He says, you want to come down to a car? And I says, no, we'll just step outside the door. So we stepped outside the door and I shut it. And they started talking. They showed me their badges. They were feds. They drove up out of Sioux City, freaking South Dakota.
I'm
They
glad you're still alive, Bill.
had a 15-minute bullshit talk with me about absolutely nothing and felt me out about my videos and left. Okay?
I'm glad you're
And
still
this
here.
all happened within a short amount of time. And when that main housekeeper told me there was that housekeeping bullshit, then that green light came through my window. Now catch this one. They did this in sequence. Like 3 weeks later, at the time all this happened, I was talking with a friend of mine over in Germany. And I've known him for years. He's followed TFL since the beginning. His name is Nicholas. Well, I had a paid Skype account where I could call his house phone. And I was calling his house phone and we were talking on the phone for hours sometimes because it didn't cost me a long distance, right? Nicholas speaks
Hmm.
fluent German, fluent Russian, and fluent English. He's very talented. Well, Nicholas and I were talking a lot, and he kept trying to get me to move to Germany and come over and live in his flat with him. And I kept telling him I
Mhm.
can't. I got my kid. I can't leave the country with my kid. Blah blah blah. Right. So
Mhm.
3 weeks after all this happened, Nicholas fucking is texting me, call me, and I called him. He says, guess what? And I says, what? He says, remember that green light you told me about? I says, yeah. It came through my window. Nicholas don't even make videos. He don't even make
Oh
videos. And
my
I says,
God.
what? He says, I busted him. And I says, what do you mean you busted him? He says, check this out. And he sent me a clip. He fucking had a long cord on his fucking camera, was right next to the window it came in. He took his cam over and held it out the window and caught a guy a half a block away, stooped next to a tree, pointing the gun at his window
Oh my
in
God.
military fatigues. Then I started researching because it was the exact same green light. I started researching and I found out that that green light is a military, only owned by military or law enforcement. And then I found out that what happened to Skype, only the military has. It's a scrambler that scrambles analog to digital because Skype is digital. The loss of my signal
Wow.
was because the military was probably across the road at the college pointing up at my window because they already knew where I was at. It was scare tactics.
Wow.
They tried to scare the Kajivas out of me. They did the same thing with my son. My son was on Facebook and I didn't allow him to have any social networking sites for the longest time. I was gone to work and my nephew set him up a Facebook account. I decided, okay, I'll let you have it instead of being an asshole and take it from me because you already got it, right? But I told him I wanted to monitor it. So I was watching his Facebook account off and on, and then one day I was sitting there at the computer and Jason says to me, Dad, and I says, what? He says, who's Cassie Dill? Now, I kept my son away from my TFL videos. He never heard anything I was ever talking about when he was a kid growing up, okay? He says, who's Cassie Dill? And I freaked. There's no way he would know Cassie Dill, right? He says to me, but it shows I sent a friend's request to her. And I said, what? And I grabbed the fucking laptop and went through it. His friend request was sent from his account at 2:30 in the morning when we were both in bed. Then I figured out what happened. The elite knows my IP address, and they noticed my son's IP address was my IP address. Now they knew who my son was.
Wow.
So they deliberately went on there and sent the request to Cassie Dill. Cassie Dill was on one of my TFL radio shows. Cassie Dill and I talked off and on online, okay, during the era of TFL. So you tell me. I backed off from doing videos. Steve says, you were gone for almost 2 years. I says, yeah, I had to back off because I knew their next step would be to take my son from me. They were trying to shut me up. That's all that was about throwing scare tactics at me to shut me up. Took my income out from underneath me, scared me with a scare call of the feds, the green light, sent it to Nicholas so that was basically the only reason they did it to Nick is because they wanted to they knew he would tell me. They didn't know he was going to catch him on film, right? But he told me and showed me, and he had the same green light, was because they wanted to let me know that I could go to Germany and live in his flat, which means they were listening in on our phone calls. And I can go to Germany and live in his flat. Don't matter to them. They know right where I'm at.
Wow. What do you think of that, Dave?
That's quite a story. And yeah,
Scary.
yeah, it is. It is pretty scary. Yeah, it's unbelievable the lengths that these people go through.
So, and I don't, that's why I said I don't, now I'm to the point anymore. When Jason got of age, I didn't care anymore. And now that I've got emphysema and I have the heart condition and I blah, 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 my years are numbered. What are you going to do to me? Kill me? So what? I'm already on my way out. Screw you.
Yeah.
Dave, have you gone on any dates lately, or
No.
how's everything going with you? Like, have you talked to anybody or
No, just
anything?
friends and family. No dates. There's my dating life came to a freeze about 15 years ago. But I still got friends. I got my friends and family, so I'm fortunate that way. And just busy working. I'm in my final home stretch. My final
Yeah,
home stretch with work. Yeah.
you're
We-
about to retire, right?
Yeah. About I got 6 more months to go, and geez, thankfully, that's another thing I'm fortunate with. Because not everybody gets that opportunity. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
TFL helped Dave there, because I'm sure if he wasn't TFL, he probably wouldn't have the money. The woman would have spent it for him.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true, Bill. I was just gonna say that if I had kids and a wife, yeah, it would be a different story.
Yeah,
I'd be looking.
You'd be broke like me.
Yeah, if I'd be broke, or hopefully, if I was married, hopefully my wife would have a similar income, but I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, that's usually not the case.
Right.
Especially if you have a kid. Somebody has to stay home and take care of the kids.
Right.
Like me, my wife works, or my girlfriend works a little bit, but for the most part, she just takes care of the kids.
That's good.
So it's.
People are watching.
I mean, it's not bad.
I don't let it scare me anymore. Now, everything I told you, that's factual. This all really happened. And it wasn't so much over the dating scene, it's the fact of all of the work I've done researching, breaking things down. They don't want the public knowing what I preach, because it is truth. And, and I don't care what
Yeah.
people tell me, I know it's the truth. And, and they don't want the truth to the public. And, that's one of these reasons they suppressed me down. Think about it when Rothschild came at me. He actually wrote me freaking private emails on a channel nobody knew I had. I had made a backup channel I never ever used. And he wrote me private emails on that channel because back in that day, YouTube actually had email. And he wrote me these emails and I read what he wrote. And this was no troll. This guy actually, at that time, your statistics didn't show up on your channel for people to see. So they wouldn't know how many views you had outside of the video itself. They wouldn't know the total amount of views you had on your channel. They wouldn't know how many subscribers or anything, because all that stuff was within your account settings, right? Before the change. But this guy had all of my statistics. This guy told me how he ran into me. He told me after YouTube was taken over by Google that he made a trip down to the Google headquarters and he went in and was going through looking for people who had, and I forget what the number is now, and I had to go back to the video I made where I captured them. You had to have so many views before he'd even look at your channel. And he ran into me because TFL was big, okay? And my channel had lots of views. Okay, and this is where he attacked me at. And I thought he was a troll. Honestly, I thought this David Rothschild was some idiot playing troll on me. And he told me if I'd stop bringing up the good Rothschild name in my videos, that he would leave me alone. Then he says, but however, if you bring up my good family name ever again in any of your videos, I'll have your account removed immediately. And behind reading that email, I had this brainstorm that says, this is a troll. And I went over to my main channel and all of my videos were up. Everything was okay. So I posted a video. And in that video, I talked about the Rothschilds. 20 minutes after I posted that video, every last video on my channel was gone, including my channel.
Wow.
That was a wake-up call. I wasn't talking to a troll. Because the troll don't have that kind of power. He just disappeared. I mean, he wrote me like 5 emails in his last one. He never bothered me again. But I've been suppressed down and censored ever since. That's why people don't see my channel go. It's like Dave said. They're not going to let my videos be seen. The last time I accidentally had a viral video they had no control of was on my other channel. I had 2 viral videos in a row. That was during the Vegas shooting. I had no strikes on my channel and they took my channel down.
Well, yeah, though I don't think you're gonna have any more viral videos, no matter what you do. I
No,
think
when
those
it
days of
does
you having
when it
viral
does
videos
happen,
are
it's
over.
accident. When it does happen, it'll be a total accident. You can't make a viral video; it has to be accident. And I don't think I'll ever hit another
Yeah,
one. And if I do hit another viral video, they'll take my channel out.
yeah. I think if you get a viral video, they're just they can prevent a video from going viral. They can prevent that. That's not a difficult task for them.
Yeah,
Like they can prevent it. I mean, they can make Two Girls One Cup go viral and get 1 billion views if they choose to, and they can also prevent videos from going viral.
yes.
And I think they're gonna prevent yours, and we're gonna have more Two Girls One Cup going viral, billions of views.
You're gonna have more. You're gonna
PewDiePie,
have
billions of views.
propaganda and BS and scare tactics. If I come up here and talked about FEMA camps and Planet X and blah blah blah, they would allow that to go anywhere because that's their
Oh yeah,
agenda.
yeah,
That's their agenda.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Flat
don't
Earth
come
will
up
go
here and talk about
viral.
that. Yeah.
Two Girls One Cup will go viral. Sorry, Bill Greathouse and Steve Hookah's not going viral. They're not gonna
No,
allow
no.
it.
You
They're
know,
not gonna allow that to happen.
and if TFL ain't gonna go mainstream, and if it ever did, it would be put in a bad light. We would be slammed to the ground. We would be made
Yeah,
to be. We would made be.
you know,
We'd be
Bill,
made out to be terrorists.
I would like to see you and Steve Hookah on the Dr. Phil show one day. That would
That ain't
be.
gonna happen. Dr. Phil's a plan. He's not even a doctor.
I know, but wouldn't that be a great show if Dr. Phil had Steve Hookah and Bill Greathouse on there? That would be the most interesting show. Of course, Dr. Phil would just be shilling, and because he agrees with the women on everything, because that's most of his audience.
Yeah, it would kind of be like walking into a minefield, because they have the power to edit that any way they want. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not.
Yeah, I have a
That would
feeling.
not come out good. We would be turned into terrorists. There's something that's been said about TFL to me for a long time, and I've always remembered it, and I had it repeated to me more than one time. TFL is dangerous to society.
Wow.
No lie, that's been
Yeah.
said to me. The TFL is dangerous to society.
What? But I mean, what are men supposed to do now? Because
Shut
I
your
swear
mouth,
it's
sit in a corner and take it.
because I swear I really feel like it's much worse now than it was 5 years ago.
It is.
I feel like it's much worse now, and I'm scared to think what the world's going to look like in 10 or 20 years.
It's going to come to a point
I
where
mean-
it's going to, this is, what do you think? It's no accident that they're pushing sex dolls, that they're pushing sex bots. They may not be on the market
Mhm.
yet, but it's not an accident. It's about turning money off the lonely people so that they can fucking make money off of you being with a freaking sex bot, okay? And that's how they're going to solve your loneliness, is to give you a sex bot,
Yeah.
okay?
I don't understand these MGTOW that get these sex bots, because there's no validation from a sex bot. There's no friendship from a sex bot. You can't live a life with a sex bot.
Oh, did you see my live stream?
It's not a meaningful life.
But you know how nuts these
I
people
don't understand these people.
Jeff.
These people are sick. These people are
Yeah.
fucking sick.
They are. Did you
A
understand?
sex bot is not going to bring you any fucking meaning in your life.
Oh, that's
What
correct.
is wrong with these fucking people?
Did you see my
Right.
live stream on that? Because you got this guy up here, what is it, MGTOW on steroids or whatever? He seems to be an intelligent guy, and he said some good shit, and I was watching a few of his videos. And then he done this one video on the sex bots. He's talking about a damn womb in the sex bot, and that once they have the sex bot with the womb in it and AI in it, artificial intelligence, that he's going to be able to have his own baby, and he'll have his own paternity rights. And I'm thinking, are you out to lunch in your head? There ain't no damn robot that's going to give birth to a human baby.
No, that's not going to happen. He's going to be dead before that happens. But yeah, these fucking sex bots, what is wrong with these people? This is not a legitimate solution. This is not a reasonable solution to TFL. I'm just going to get a fucking piece of plastic and jerk off in this fucking piece of plastic.
I don't care
There's
how
nothing
real it looks.
meaningful about that.
Look, they got fucking they got bots right, or dolls right now that ain't bots, that they have perfected the art that it's human size. It comes in a crate, it costs like $5,000, and it looks like a real human. It's that realistic. Now, could you
It
imagine
doesn't
that?
move. It
Exactly.
doesn't talk to you.
It doesn't talk
It's
to
not
you.
somebody you
It
can
doesn't
share
move.
your problems with. It's not somebody you can talk to. It's not somebody you can cook a meal with. I mean, these fuckers sitting there with a fucking doll in their kitchen. They prop up this plastic doll with a pussy on it. This is insanity.
It is.
This is fucking insane.
Yeah.
You're fucking a piece of plastic. You're just jerking off. I can jerk off already.
Even if it ain't plastic, which it probably is, with some real feeling looking skin put on it, artificial shit, it's all fucking artificial. And even if you get a robot that has AI in it and it can talk to you and it can this and that, right? I mean, that's not a replacement. That's New World Order and agenda. Now they make money off the men they frickin' destroyed. TFL isn't an accident. It isn't an accident. It's both socially engineered. It's deliberate. So you know how crazy this is.
I mean, this sex bot thing is just this in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. If somebody said they had a sex doll, I mean, that shit was unheard of. That was what the fuck is wrong with you? You're fucking a fucking blow up doll. I mean, I can't get behind this. I can't have a meaningful life with a fucking doll. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you all the way. I'm with you all the way, and it's complete insanity. And when I look at these MGTOWers pushing these sex dolls and these sex bots and shit like that, it just frustrates me because that is not the answer.
What the fuck is wrong with these people that they? I mean, do they think that
they're
a woman
over-sexualized? What do you think the
pussy? There's nothing more to a woman than a pussy.
Exactly. They're so over-sexualized that they actually think that sex is love. I mean, it's right next to the point of total brain damage. There's times I think about, wow, why don't they just let the bombs drop and start killing off millions of people? Because you people become so freaking dumb. How do you turn this around, How do you get people to stand together and rise up? Because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, that's the only way out of it.
And you can't even get the manosphere to stand together. They all want to fight each other and point the finger at each other.
Unfortunately, I mean, if you're dealing with guys who are buying blow up dolls, I mean, I don't see any hope there. I mean,
well,
you're talking to people that are legitimately serious about.
Can you imagine?
A sex doll.
Yeah, but can you imagine spending $5,000 to get your doll in a crate, and it's not a blow up? You pick out the looks you want and all this shit. You get it in the crate, and it feels like real human skin. And you pick this big heavy duck lunk of whatever it is made of out of a crate, and call this your partner. I mean, wow, really?
Dave, these people are lunatics, man. These people are lunatics buying sex dolls. I don't get this. This is. I mean, maybe I'm old. I'm 38 years old or 39 years old now, but this shit was unheard of in the 80s and 90s. This shit was unheard of.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm about to turn I'll be turning 49 in a couple of months here, but yeah, exactly. There's a good documentary. There's a good documentary on YouTube about that. Those dolls that Bill was talking about. In fact, Bill did a documentary about that. He did a video about that, probably 10 years ago, about those things. About there was these three guys, TFL guys, and that's that bought into that. And that was actually really one of the more memorable videos.
Yeah, I mean, me,
if
Dave,
you ever get a
I
chance to
want,
watch that, it's kind of interesting.
I mean, me, I mean, I want validation from a woman. I mean,
Oh yeah,
if
absolutely. I mean, you
if
can't
if I,
take a doll and go travel with it or anything like that. It's just not feasible, you know.
That'd be like taking your
I,
sex bot. Can you imagine they get your artificial sex bot with AI in it and it talks to you and it's blah 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 and you're gonna go down the street or go out to eat and you got your sex box alongside you. Okay. Can you just imagine that? I mean, wow, you talk about complete insanity. I mean, one flew
you
over.
take your sex bot out to the beach and put it up on a blanket and fuck it on the beach.
I mean, you talk about it's so
Yeah.
far out there that I'm like, holy crap! How did you people fall for this? What is wrong with you? Have you lost your mind?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about pathetic, man. I mean, that's
No.
that was unimaginable. 10, 20 years ago, that was unimaginable. And
Yeah,
people would be fucking a fucking piece of plastic or silicone.
but you know what?
I mean,
It goes back to Silicon Valley, YouTube, Google. It goes back to social engineering, and it goes to show that TFL was deliberately created by the powers to be, and it's problem, reaction, solution. What do you think a
that's what David
PUA
Icke talks
was?
about.
Yes, it is. It's problem, reaction, solution. They created the problem. They give you a phony solution. Then they making money off of what they created because they created the epidemic of men who can't get nobody in their life. So then they sold you PUA, which of course was phony, right? And so many men spent so much money on this bullshit, right? That didn't work. Of course it didn't work.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna give
I
you
actually
fucking
bought.
sex bots.
I actually got the book David D'Angelo about 10, 15 years ago. The David D'Angelo book. It didn't do a fucking thing.
No.
That book didn't do a fucking thing.
Yeah, those.
It didn't do a fucking thing.
Yeah,
David
would you say
D'Angelo,
that,
get
Jeff?
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
David
what was that, Jeff?
D'Angelo.
David D'Angelo book?
I got the David D'Angelo book. One of my friends got it for me and emailed it to me, and it was just it's a bunch of bullshit. That if you're not good looking, David D'Angelo is not going to help you. I mean, it did kind of help me because I read the book and then I approached 1,000 women after reading it. So I did get some stuff, but if I didn't read the book and I approached 1,000 women, I still would have got the same thing.
Right.
So it's like
that's like these guys that go to a seminar, like a class, like that Don Steele guy, and these guys will pay this guy thousands of dollars, and they'll walk out of there initially feeling pretty good, and then they'll realize that the next day that they've been had, that this isn't that this didn't do me anything.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get some girls after reading it, but it was because I approached 1,000 girls, and
Right.
Most of them had mental problems that accepted me, and I don't know. It's just tough out there. Women don't give a shit about relationships now.
Yeah, they're just not interested. It's from what I see, it's very tough to. It's just very tough to meet women nowadays. I mean, I can be in very casual settings. I've been over my own dad's house, my own mother's house, and been introduced to women, and they'll totally ignore me, and they'll sit there and talk about some other guy that they're chasing. They'll talk about some delusional fantasy. Here's a guy like myself that that's perfectly compatible with, and they don't want nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I found works is if like say the girl wants to be a artist, like it's her dream to be an artist, and you're like a legitimate artist.
Yeah.
Well, you have something that she really wants, and then sometimes that'll work. Like she'll use you to make her into an artist, or like when I was tutoring math at the college, I would have all these college girls that loved me, but it was only because I was helping them achieve their dream of graduating college by helping them pass their final math class.
Yeah.
So
right.
if if you have something that they really need and they really want, that can that can really get them. That can really get them. But it's only temporary, because once they get what they want and they graduate, then they're fucking done with you.
Right. There's,
So
you know, from what I see, that they just seem to be steered away from like things that are like practical relationships and things that make sense. You know, they want to go down like this one woman I was recently introduced to over my mother's house. She's maybe 2-3 years older than I am, and she's talking. You know, I'm right in the situation here, and she's talking about going down to the Caribbean, chasing some guy that's 20 years younger than she is. So just delusional, you know. They're just still stuck in this. Like, I'm gonna go somewhere looking for a cheap thrill, and you know that's all that they seem to want nowadays.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's exactly it.
so that girl's just gonna get used for a green card,
Yeah.
and as soon as the guy gets here, he's gonna dump her ass.
It's the
It's
breakdown.
kind of like a multi-level marketing scheme.
Well, it
Right.
is. It's the
And
breakdown of society, right in your face.
and this is what Bill has talked about. The inability to grow up. I mean, this is a woman that's 52 years old and has a severe case of arrested emotional development. You know, she's still stuck on 21. She's looking for a cheap thrill. She wants to go out, get drunk, and throw up all over herself. You know, and get pumped and get screwed and thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna end well for her. I guarantee you, if that dude's 20 and he gets a green card in America, he's not going to be sticking around with some 55-year-old bitch.
Yeah, he's just looking for exactly what you just said. He's looking for some guy that, you know, looking to get into the United States, you know, and get a green card, and that's all that they're looking for.
Yeah, and this 55-year-old woman is ignoring 55-year-old guys or 49-year-old guys. And she's chasing the fucking Chad, the only Chad that she can possibly get.
That doesn't give two craps about her.
That's exactly it. You know, and unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do to change it. You know, MGTOW in reality was the answer, but it had to be taken seriously and done seriously. And you're never going to get men to be able to take it seriously or do it seriously, because to do it seriously means they have to be willing to know that they're not going to die from lack of sex. I have never been to a funeral where I just have not been to a funeral where you died from you didn't put your dick in a hole. Okay? So, you know, and I hate to be blunt about it, but the reality is you're not going to die from it. But people got to take it seriously and walk away from their opposite gender and not give them the time of day, because that's the only thing that's going to get their attention.
Well, Bill, at least you don't have to worry about getting oral cancer. Did you hear about Val Kilmer?
No.
He's been fighting throat cancer. Word is he got throat cancer through oral sex. And and I guess that's actually, if you can do a little research on it, I guess that's kind of been a growing epidemic here in this country.
Well, you know what? I can believe that, because think about it. Okay, let's just get real for a moment, even though this is disgusting. When you put your face in a place, okay, that's meant for the toilet, okay. I don't know what you thought you were doing to begin with. I understand the attraction. I understand the urge of, wow, she's hot. Here, sit on my face, baby. Blah 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 shit. But at the same token,
that booty like groceries.
Hey, I used to tell, now this is funny. I told my brother's ex, we were sitting there, and I don't know how this conversation came up, but it came up about sex, and I says, well, you shower before sex, and she says, no, you don't. You shower after. And I says, you can shower after too, but it's more important to shower before sex. And she says, no, it ain't. Why would it be? And I says, so you want to put your face in that place, and if he hasn't cleaned up? And she got quiet and sat there for about 5 minutes, and she looked at me and says, I never thought of it that way.
It's not exactly the most sanitary thing to do,
And I'm like, so you're telling me you're going to go down there and you're going to put your face in that place, and then you don't even care if they've cleaned up? Well, why don't you just stick your head in the toilet after they went to the bathroom then, huh?
Oh my God.
Good point.
Well, you know what, that the reality slap in the face is, I know it's harsh what I said, but that is the reality. And there's a slap in the face for you, okay? You're getting sexual diseases because you're putting your face in that place. And then everybody else is going around putting their you know what in that place. And then you're going to come along and put your face in that place? What did you expect to happen to you?
Yeah.
Okay? So I can't really feel sorry for people in that fact. If you're going to do that, the least you could do is first off make sure they're disease clean, free, you know, no
Mm.
crabs, no herpes, no nothing like this. And then you could at least do is for the female, she should shower and douche out really good, okay? And for the guy, he should be washing down there 3 or 4 times himself, right? Then you go have fun. At
Yeah,
least the bodies are clean, okay? And
yeah.
that
That
is,
herpes
you
is the
know,
one that scares me because I don't think condoms will really protect you from the herpes.
well, you're not
That's the
gonna, you
one that
know.
really scares me.
There was a prostitute in the neighborhood I used to live in Florida, and she had herpes of the mouth. And you know where she got it
Hmm.
from? She got it from giving head. She
Oh
gave
wow.
guy to she gave head to a guy that had herpes, and now she had herpes of her mouth.
I guess the moral of the story is get a hand job and get a foot job and just let that be it.
Well, they've
Other than
over
that, you're fucked.
look at these porns. They have over sexualized society. They've given people all these sexual fantasies, okay, and they want to live their sexual fantasy. Okay, and I'm not going to cut them down for living their sexual fantasy, but you better understand the risk factor. Okay, the risk factor is high that you may be sorry you went there.
Yeah, it's scary out there. It really is. You mess around with hoes, you better be careful.
And you know, and I can't tell much to people because I tell them what I feel and what I see. My main drive is to try to bring the manosphere together, and I said it probably won't happen. And you know, with Hell by the Dashboard Light, he's proof of why it won't happen. With these MGTOWers that are
Mm.
chasing their sex dolls and sex bots, they're proof that it won't happen. You know, the majority of
Yeah.
MGTOW are TFLers in denial. They're frauds, they're fakes, and they don't like being caught up for what they are. And I don't care, you know, I gave them a chance, even when in doubt was given a fair chance.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just kind of like the dehumanization. I mean, the sex bots, that's dehumanization. Hell by the Dashboard Light, that's dehumanization. This guy won't even have a male friend. This guy won't even hug a guy at his graduation. Won't hug a guy when he gets married, and well, he won't even have a friend to go to a graduation or a marriage. It's
Yep.
just dehumanization. The lack of social connectedness
Well,
is
he's
is
messing himself over
it's
because
awful.
he has the foundation right that you need to be friends with a woman. He has that right. So if he gets a woman he becomes friends with and they become better than friends and get together, the problem is if she has 3 or 4 brothers or even 2 brothers and she wants to go to a family thing for Thanksgiving or whatever, he shows up there as hating men because blah, 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 you know. Maybe they'll have some friends over and some of them ain't freaking a brother. You know what I'm saying?
I could I could picture him sitting around the dinner table. Oh, Sarah, can you hear me? Sarah, can you hear me?
Oh, God.
Sarah, can you hear me? Shut up, Dad. Shut up, brothers. Sarah, can you hear me? Freaking ridiculous, man.
You
What
know,
an asshole.
he hates
I don't
my,
want to be rude to him, but he really socially needs to grow up. He
he
really
needs
needs to
to,
grow up socially.
he needs to put his behavior in order. Okay, his anger is out of emotions. Like I said earlier, I do not hate the guy. I can't hate him. I don't know him. Okay, I agree with him being angry because men have a right to be angry over what's going on. But at the same token, you got to put your behavior, you got to put your emotions in check. and you got to start looking for the root cause to find out where the problem come from, so that your anger can be directed where it belongs. And his anger is directed everywhere it don't belong.
Yeah.
So
I
you know,
I really feel for the guy because to go through life without any friendships or anybody to talk to or
not
anybody to go
easy.
jogging with or
No,
anybody
it's
to go
not
play
easy.
pool with. It's a sad life. It's a really
It
sad
is.
life.
It is. I agree with
Yeah.
you. But hey, guys, I
Anybody?
think.
Anybody?
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was gonna say. Anybody know how old that guy is?
Last time I heard from Steve Hoke, he's like 30 or 31.
Oh, is he? He's kind of a young guy.
So
This
you
guy
know,
should be going out with his male friends jogging every day. He should be going out with his friends playing pool, going out to bars and having some drinks. He should be studying with friends. He should be doing projects in his engineering with friends. He should be going out to work to Chili's after work and getting some margaritas. This guy should have a big social life, and he's just like, fuck these guys, just competition. Well, yeah, guys are competition, but if you find some real friends, they're not going to steal your girlfriend. I mean, yeah, guys steal people's girlfriends in high school, but those are assholes. Those are immature kids that do stuff like that. But grown adults don't normally steal each other's wives and girlfriends.
you'll run into that throughout your life off and on, even from older guys. But the percentage of real friends will never do that to you to begin with. Okay, so it's just one of them things. But hey, I think I'm going to cut this live stream. I've been here for a long time now. This is longer
Right.
than I normally do.
This has been yeah, it's been a long one, Bill.
It sure has.
Alrighty.
It's better now. It's a two-parter.
All right. Well, Jeff and Bill, have we'll catch up with you later, okay?
Yes.
Hey, Dave, I got your email. Hopefully, I can interview you sometime soon.
Okay. Yeah. Give me. I don't know if you. Do you still have my phone number?
Yeah, I got your email. I'll just respond to it, and maybe
Okay.
next weekend I'll interview. I don't use Zoom. I use Google Hangout. So
Right.
you just have to get a Gmail and then download Google Hangouts on your phone or your computer.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay,
All
guys.
right, Dave.
All right.
You have a good one.
Good to talk to you, Dave and Bill.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you later. All right.